Well, you guessed it. I'm Eileen, and this is my lemon cake. It is the specialty of my kitchen. I have mailed this to clients and colleagues all throughout the U.S. Doesn't cost that much to make. Postage? Ooh, that's something different. And sorry, I can't send it offshore. And I admit I had a sample. I wish I could give you a sample of this. But what I can give you a sample of, something I want you to chew on, it revolves around a field of study I have looked at for decades, written, spoken, researched, resilience. We need it now more than ever. So the first thing I want you to sample, I want you to chew on, is I'm going to give you something to do. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to do something you have never tried before. Something that's maybe a tad bit intimidating. Now, don't take on the biggest thing. Don't go jump off the Eiffel Tower. Don't go find Aunt Maud and tell her she's got bad breath and stop hugging you so much. No. I want you to start small, because what you're doing is you're building a resiliency muscle. Resiliency can be taught. It can be strengthened. And just like any muscle, you don't go onto a gym and start lifting 50-pound weights. You start small, but you are building resiliency. And what happens when you stretch is you become stronger and you feel more energy. Well, let's just try it for a second. Okay, take your hands, and what we're going to do, we are going to see like this. All right. Now, what I want you to do is take a deep breath, and when you bend over, I want you to just squeeze into this. Move your shoulders. You ready? Deep breath. Let go. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. All right, you ready? You ready? Come up. Now, take one arm, push it across your chest, just push. Try the other arm. Stretch, stretch. Do you feel a little bit more relaxed? Maybe a little bit more energy? When we learn to stretch, we grow resiliency. The other two things I'm going to teach you, you will see in an interview. The second one is that I'm going to totally redefine resilience for you. I want you to think of it in a totally different way. And the third thing, as I want to begin to teach you the skill of reframing or intelligent optimism. In fact, before I show you that interview, let me give you an example of reframing. Okay. This over here, there we go. This is a frog. Now, it's framed one way. Watch what happens when I reframe it, when I turn it a different way. See the horse? Thoroughbred horse? Very different. The power of reframing, the power of intelligent optimism is critical in crazy times like this. So, come, watch the interview, and I'll be back with you. All right. Well, thank you very much for the question. First off, I think the greatest renewable resource, energy resource, is human energy. But let me backtrack where energy actually comes from and what it is. So many of us remember from our old science books that energy is the capacity to do work. No energy, no work. But let's talk about that. To me, energy is the basis of resilience, of being able to grow through change. And that's not just negative change. I think sometimes because of the situation we're in, we're going, oh my God, this is terrible. But it's also to grow through opportunity. And I'm going to come back to that for a minute. But if you think about energy, Nicholas, you think about a power grid. Energy starts in one place. If the power grid is connected well, the energy goes through and the lights go on. You turn an ignition in a car, it's a good connection, hits the battery, car moves forward. Bad connection, the car doesn't move. Bad connection, the lights don't go on. So first and foremost, to me, energy is all about looking where are the ways in which we create connections. And are they connections that are positive connections, or are they connections that deplete this human battery? So I think that's one of the things that's really important to me, that resilience is about energy management. In 1850, a massive storm swept across England, destroyed 5 ships went down, all hands aboard, an Irish passenger ship went down. And 2 days later, on the island of Orkney, off the coast of Scotland, when the villagers went out, the storm was so violent that it ripped away the topsoil. And what the villagers saw when they looked down was a village. They saw 7 houses. The little point of land is called Scarabray. Those houses are older than Stonehenge, older than the Great Pyramids, but they didn't know it existed. I'd like to suggest to you that what we're experiencing right now, the topsoil has been torn away. And what we now are looking at things that maybe we didn't want to see before. And in that opportunity is to choose, how do I reframe what's happening so that I can get energy for possibilities? Scarabray, topsoil gone away, a disaster at face value, and yet it revealed things that we hadn't seen before. And I'd like to suggest right now, as we look at what all's going on around us, we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity because we've been covering up all manner of things. Some of us are in organizations with legacy systems, processes that don't work, because we just keep piling stuff on. We just keep doing things the way we've always done it. And now everything is open. Now we can create what it is you want for your organization. What do you want for your family? What do you want for your life? Because we have an opportunity to start anew. That's intelligent optimism. That's reframing. Now, I admit, in the context in which we find ourselves, it's not always very easy, because it would be a whole lot simpler, frankly, if you and I were frogs. You see, frogs get to eat what bugs them. Why, if I was a frog, I could just go to that COVID-19 and I could go there. It's all done. We don't have to worry about it. Unfortunately, we're not frogs. And life would probably be a little bit simpler if we were, I don't know, chipmunks. If I was a chipmunk, all I care about is my family and do I have nuts for the winter. And I'd go scramble after those nuts and I'd go take them up the tree and I would be just fine. And I wouldn't worry about anybody else. Well, I'm not a chipmunk, and we are in this together. We are in this as an organization, as a family, as a community, as a nation. And it is together that we have to think about, how do we craft the kind of future that we want now? And I'll also admit, there are days, frankly, I wish I could be a space alien. Why, if I was a space alien, I would go to SpaceX and I'd say, take me away and don't bring me back until this is over. Well, I don't think it's going to be over anytime, and I'm not a space alien. So here's what I'm going to recommend. What I really want to recommend is that we look at, how do we, number one, help each other and give people things to do. That's what we want. How-tos. Give me some action. Give me some ways to think at this, look at this differently, behave. We want how-tos. The second thing we want is we want to laugh. We want humor. I mean, heck, that's why I gave you a frog, a chipmunk, and a space alien. We need to laugh. It's the shortest distance between two people, because as part of that humor is you and I want social connection. We don't want to be alone. And the third thing that we want, which actually is what happens when you reframe Scarabray, is we want hope. We do want optimism. We want to believe that together I can come together. We can create something new. I have resources within me. Hope. I'd like to think that I'm a hope merchant. I'd like to think that you might like to join me and be a hope merchant. And if you do, chances are
delicious
lemon cake. Give me a call.